Hi there, I'm Anne and I'm here to talk about mushrooms.
You might be thinking about your favorite pizza topping, a place where fairies hang out, maybe a Smurf house, or even your favorite video game character. But mushrooms are so much more. They're sustainable superheroes. To understand how mushrooms are fighting climate change, let's first take a look at what a mushroom is. So here's the big question. Are mushrooms plants or animals? Go ahead and take a guess. Plants, right? Well, actually, mushrooms are neither. Mushrooms belong to the fungus kingdom, along with yeast and mold. Mushrooms are the fruiting body of a fungus that are composed of hyphae. Hyphae are filamentous, branch-like structures that grow and combine to create a fungus. But mushrooms are just the tip of the iceberg. Most of the fungus exists under the ground as mycelium, which is a branching network of hyphae, much like a plant's roots. Let's talk about spectacular spores. Spores are like mushroom seeds, but tiny. Most spores are approximately 1 to 10 micrometers wide, which is a little less than the width of a human hair. Mushrooms produce and disperse spores so that fungus can reproduce. The first kind of spore is an ascot spore. Spores are released when the tip of the structure breaks off. The second kind of spore is basidium spores. Basidium spores grow externally on structures and break off when they mature. Mushrooms release a lot of spores, but only a lucky few find a nice place to land. The spore then sends out hyphae to explore the soil for other mycelium. When two hyphae meet, the spore undergoes reproduction and the fungus is established. But how do fungus grow from a teeny tiny spore to a mushroom? Well, they eat, but fungi don't have mouths, so they can't eat food the way we do. Instead, mushrooms grow into their food. Wherever the food is, that's where the fungi grow. In this time lapse, you can see mycelium branching out in all directions in search of food. Once mycelium finds a food source, it redirects its energy towards growing into that food source. So mushrooms can eat their food by growing into it. What's the big deal? It means that we can make mycelium grow into whatever shape we want by changing the shape of its food. That means we can make cool things like mycelium chairs or the body of a drone, or even fancy shoes. You could be wearing mushrooms on your feet. One important application of this idea is replacing styrofoam packaging with mycelium packaging. Ecovative, a mushroom innovation company, sent me some samples to share with you all. These are cosmetic foams, but made of pure mycelium. Ecovative is tackling plastic waste in the beauty industry by replacing plastic sponges that go into the trash can with mycelium sponges that can decompose. Well, how about reducing our environmental impacts by switching out meat for mushrooms? At Last is one of Ecovada's companies that is creating bacon out of mushrooms. Mushrooms can even replace fast fashion. Milo Unleather is a company that creates handbags out of mushroom leather. Got pests? Mushrooms can help. Fungi can be genetically engineered to target pest species, therefore reducing the need for artificial pesticides that harm the environment. Mushrooms can even be used to rehabilitate radioactive areas. Some mushrooms are known to absorb radioactive elements and could be used to naturally restore areas after nuclear accidents. Mushrooms can reduce our environmental impact in so many different ways, so I hope you'll agree when I say that they're sustainable superheroes. Thank you for letting me share my mushroom madness with you, and I hope you learned a fun fact to share with a friend.